Recapping the last free agency class, I think it's hands down that the Packers came away with one of the most underrated players from this free agent class, and that is Preston Smith, an outside linebacker from the Washington Redskins. Let's get into the film breakdown and discuss why I think this and why I think he can become an insanely productive player for the Packers. Taking a look at the first play here, we see number 94, Preston Smith, is lined up outside of the left tackle in what you would call a wide 9 technique. So as we see, the Redskins are going to be running a stunt here between DJ Swearinger and Preston Smith. We have it drawn up on the screen where Preston Smith will be heading into the B gap and DJ Swearinger will be heading to the outside to kind of replace Preston Smith as a kind of contained player. So as this play moves forward, we're going to see Preston Smith kind of use his hands and time it up perfectly. So as Preston Smith reads it's a run, he steps upfield to draw Taylor Lewan's hands and make Taylor Lewan punch out. As soon as he sees Taylor Lewan punch out, he swims back over top of Taylor Lewan, giving him no time to recover, stuffing the run in the backfield. Perfect example of how to use your hands and how to time up punches perfectly. Taking a look at the next play, we're going to be breaking down how Preston Smith rushes the passer and what kind of moves he has in his arsenal. So once again, we see him lined up outside of the left tackle here. He's going to be kind of running a speed rush move, basically meaning he's going to try to get the corner before the tackle gets there. But as we see, the tackle meets him at the corner and attempts to throw a punch to run out of the back of the pocket. But as we see, Preston Smith times up a punch perfectly. We have it frozen here to highlight how as soon as Preston Smith sees that punch coming from the left tackle, he's going to block it away, he's going to flip his hips and carry all of his momentum to Dak Prescott. By timing this up perfectly and not allowing the tackle's hands to get on his chest, it allows Preston Smith to round the corner with full momentum, not slowing down at all, getting to Dak Prescott perfectly. Once again, this is a perfect example of how Preston Smith knows how to time up his punches. So staying on the same page for this next play, we're going to be breaking down Preston Smith's pass rush arsenal once again. This time we're going to be looking at his long arm ability. And as we see, he's lined up outside of the left tackle once again. He sets up this rush perfectly. As we freeze the frame, we're going to see that he throws the long arm and jabs it right into the tackle's throat. And extending his arm fully is going to allow himself to keep the tackle's hands off of him, which is perfect. It keeps all of his power and all of his momentum going where he wants it to. So Preston Smith lowers his shoulders, lowers his body, and just drives the tackle back into the quarterback, swims back over the top for an easy sack. This is a great example of just converting his long arm into power. A great sack by Preston Smith. Flipping gears away from the pass rush arsenal, let's talk about what I think Preston Smith is the best at doing, and that's stopping the run. So for an example here, this play against the Eagles, Preston Smith is lined up as a very wide 9 technique, once again outside of the tackle here. So the Eagles are going to be running outside zone, and this tackle here is going to try to basically take Preston Smith and run him to the sideline, kind of run him out of the back of this play. As we see, the frame's frozen because Preston Smith realizes this. He understands what's going on because he's seeing what's happening. Preston Smith takes his inside arm and counters this by jamming it in the tackle's out inside shoulder and just swimming right back over top, throwing the tackle out of the back of the play. Preston Smith comes right back in and gets an easy tackle stuffing this run. This is a great example of not only Preston Smith's great hand usage once again, but his football IQ and his vision to understand what's going on and just being able to get back in on the play. So that's going to do it for the film portion of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the film, but let's kind of recap everything and why I think Preston Smith was the most underrated free agent in this class. So to begin with, he's 26 years old. He's very young, just now entering into his prime, has room to develop in this scheme. So ignoring that factor alone, let's look into his technique that we already went over. His technique in the run game, as we saw in the Eagles film and the Cowboys film and the Titans film, he times up his punches perfectly, and he understands when he has to throw a punch and when, which will allow him to shed a defender. Just that alone is impressive, just the technique. But then looking at the very last play, the Eagles, have him having his vision to understand where the run play is hitting and where he has to be at the certain time, it's perfect. His ability to stop the run is amazing. I can't stress that enough. And then his pass rush arsenal, of course, it needs some work. He's not going to be a 15, 16 sack guy a year, but 6 to 8 sacks a year. He has a couple nice moves of dipping and ripping, and then he also has the long arm move. Overall, that's going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure you guys subscribe for the next film breakdown. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.